and no one is quite sure what this mysterious individual has to do with it.
Yes! You ain't seen nothing yet, folks.
Hey, you see a huge shark is wrecking the city?
He's using a Ouija board to control the shark.
We better get moving. From this moment forward, we're Tarot Force! I knew it! Ooh. We're all counting on you. Tarot Gator. Wow! I'm here for the shark! Let's finish this.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for Ouija Shark 2, or was it Ouija Shark? I don't know. And as you saw from that, it's crazy. It's sharks, it's gators, it's magic. I don't know, but we're going to find out all about it. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. And as you see on the screen, I have the star, the director, the creator of Ouija Shark 2, Mr. John Migliore. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. As a filmmaker, as I kind of told you earlier, I'm all about creating wild and crazy ideas. And I love to kind of start with where they come from, where these germs just get into our heads and just makes us want to put pen to pad or fingers to keyboard and create. How did this start for you, John?
Well, Ouija Shark there was already a first movie that I was in, and I came in late. The movie had a bit of a short runtime, and they were looking at adding some to make it a little longer. And I came forward and suggested how I could insert myself as the father of one of the existing characters, and maybe I could give them some advice, and maybe I could help them with the shark in some way. And so that all got inserted into the first movie, and then I died at the end of the first movie. So when we're talking developing the story for this one, the first thing I had to do was, okay, well, I'm dead, but they want me to be the main character in the second movie, so I better figure out how I can get better.
I love it. All right, so the original OG cult classic, now we're coming back with a second one. And again, everybody, it hits digital on July 25th. Make sure you go check it out, cop it, pick it up, have a good time. Maybe have a few of these if you want to, or if you delight in that. I think it'll be fun. All right, so you convinced them to well, they wanted you back, so you get down. Tell me how this kind of script developed, or was there even one? Because I don't know. Maybe you were smoking some of these. I don't know. It's this joint looks crazy. It looks wild.
There's definitely a script. There was absolutely a script. What happened was I looked at the first movie and I said, okay, I gotta first of all figure out how I'm gonna get back. What the new threat of the shark was going to be. How we could touch on things that people liked in the first movie, but still move forward into new ideas for this one. So I probably spent a month. That's very typical for me. I spent about a month on a script, and I sit in the basement at my computer and I giggle and I laugh, and I bring my family down to giggle and laugh, and then I know if it's right or wrong, and I move along from there. And also, this being micro budget, right? Like, this isn't like a normal movie. This has to be made for a very small amount of money. So, you type something and then you have to stop and think, can I do that?
Yeah.
And if I sometimes have stopped writing, gone away and looked into it, tried to figure out if, can I do that? Check out what kind of effects I can do. And if I can do it, I come back and I keep going with the script. But there have been times where I just can't quite figure it out. And it's time to backspace and write a new scene. And that doesn't mean I compromise, what I'm trying to do with the movie. I'm very realistic about, this is a very low budget movie. I want it to be fun. I want you to laugh. I want you to have a good time. but I gotta be able to do it. I don't want to be on set going, why did I write this scene? I can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's a very realistic approach, I guess you would say.
Oh no, totally understand. As I've been in the business for a long time, yeah, you gotta, if you put pen to pad and if you trying to make things happen, it's costly if you don't have those thoughts in mind in regards to the actual production of the film. So was this one of the first projects? I see you've been acting for quite some time, but you convince them, you come on board, you bring part two together, right? But did that come from experience? What other projects kind of like lent itself to it? And what did you learn along the way of putting together this project?
Yeah, I've been directing movies for a while.
Okay.
So maybe 7 or 8 features now. I've lost count. It's either 7 or 8 features, and a few of them are with Wild Eye, and you can see them on Tubi or Plex for free. I did Poltergeist Encounters. It's like a supernatural haunted house kind of movie. I did Exorcism of the Dead, which is a typical kind of exorcist movie, except for one little catch, which is the person that needs to be exorcised is in fact already dead, and they just can't get the demon out of her body. So there's that one. And also from Wild Eye Releasing, it's on Tubi and Plex and Amazon Prime, is Creature from Cannibal Creek. And that one is a mashup of cannibals, killing people in the woods, but also a big swampy monster that's going around killing people and fighting against the cannibals.
I love it.
That's a pretty crazy one too. So I've been doing movies for a while, and I've kind of found what I'm comfortable doing, what I'm happy doing, and I used a lot of that, of course, to bring to Ouija Shark too.
I love it. I cut my teeth, if you will, doing a lot of independent horror as well before kind of like branching off into like other projects. But this ain't about me. I'm always curious on just it's all about doing what you enjoy, because a lot of people I know for a lot of friends like yourself that are in like the indie horror scene, and people get talked, well, why don't you come over to Hollywood and do this and the third? But you know what? A lot of stuff gets corporate and it's not as funny. It loses some of its flair. So I'm right there with you, sir. So Ouija Shark 2, you come up with the script, you put it pen to pad, you get it all finalized out. I'm assuming this was done during the pandemic, or how long? Tell me about the production process, getting to casting and how that all kind of came together.
Yeah, it was done during the pandemic. So even when I was writing the script, I had to have that in mind, because I was writing at a time where it didn't look like there was any end in sight coming anytime soon. So there's a good first third of the movie that's me in hell fighting specifically against the shark, and with these crazy little ape characters that I'm fighting against. And the reason that hell part came in, part of it was, to explain away how I had died and how I will come back. But also it allowed me to just shoot at home by myself and get production going, even though I couldn't see anybody else. So I'm in that scene. The apes are played by myself and my son. We play all the apes in the movie because there was no one else that could come in to do anything.
Yeah.
And slowly, when they started to say, well, you can have one person in your house, or how it rolled out, we started bringing people in a little at a time. So even some scenes where you see people standing right next to each other because of green screen, like they were never even in the same room together.
Yeah.
But are in the movie. So that was all very challenging. And you asked about casting. I use a lot of the same people that I use from movie to movie. They're awesome. They're my friends. They're people that I enjoy working with. I don't love the casting process. I don't love so much, trying to track down and fit people in, especially when I can go, well, Deborah can do that. Deborah's fantastic. I'm going to get her to come in.
Yeah. Make it a family
So-
affair, friend affair.
It really is, because my own family's involved, my friend family is involved, and we have a great time putting it all together.
I love it. I love the go-getter spirit of it. I do a lot of film classes and talk to a lot of people. Been in game for a long time. So can we talk about DIY filmmaking? What have you learned along the way, and what are your pro tips that you give other independent filmmakers that are out there that have the same aspirations that we have?
Well, first of all, I would say to other filmmakers, one of the things that I learned that was really important is if you learn how to do something yourself, then you don't have to bring in as many outside people. There's fewer people to pay. There's more control for yourself. So, I mean, I write them. The movies I do, I write them, I direct them, I edit them. I do all the special effects. I make any of the creatures that you see in the movie. And that isn't out of ego, right? I mean, I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some ego there. But it's because then I have money to spend on other things. So when I have all those actors come in, I can give them a little honorarium. It's not much at this level, but I can give them something.
Yeah.
And, when we have lunches or dinners together, like we have food, we have a good time. There's, cookies and snacks and whatever. I'd almost rather spend the money on that. And a lot of it comes out of my personal blood, sweat, and tears. And that's the part you can't put money on. And that's just how I work. So the more you can do yourself, probably for the best for your own budget. And I always start when I'm writing, I look at what do I have? I have this location that I have available to me. I better make some use out of that, because I worked with some people a few years ago that were doing a short, and they were like, we really want to make this kind of a story, and it's set in this very specific location. And I looked at their script and said, this could be done in a living room. The entire interaction between these two people, if you just tweak the script a little, you can just shoot it in a living room. Oh, no, we have to have this specific set. Okay, well, how much are you renting that set for? $2,000. And I thought, you should have shot it in your living room. But I understand. Some people have a vision and they want to fulfill that vision. So I can't speak against that. Go for it.
Yeah.
But I'm a little more down to earth and realistic about those sort of things.
Yeah. No, I love the heart, and I love everything you're saying, John, because I think the biggest thing for a lot of young filmmakers and filmmakers of any age that want that have this as a passion or as a sidebar hobby, pull back themselves because, I don't have the budget, I don't have the finances. It's always comes down to money, and they could be the most talented person in the world, but they block themselves from chasing their dream. And so I love the go-getter attitude and just the drive to just make things happen. So for yourself, did you go to school for anything, or how did you train yourself? How did you educate yourself? Because that's also it too. You may be talented at one thing, but when you're having to do it all, you got to kind of learn things. And so I'm kind of curious there as well. And pro tips you have in that respect. I know YouTube has been wonderful for a lot of people. We have cameras, amazing video cameras on our cell phones now that, there's been a lot of amazing cell phone created films as of late as well. Yeah. Please.
Yeah. I was before I got into all of this, I was a teacher for 25 years. So I was an elementary school teacher, and I was heavy on tech. So even though I was teaching, let's say grade 6, we'd build robots and program them to move around the room. We'd do commercials that we would shoot and edit on computers. So, it was always kind of these big technical things that I love to take whatever skills they were supposed to learn and then make a big tech deal out of it. And I always said to them, all this tech's going to change by the time you get older. But if you take the skills that you learn working all of this tech, you'll be able to apply it to future technology, and you'll just have skills that you can rely on. And when I retired, I remembered what I said to them, and I said, I should do the same thing. I mean, I'll buy a camera. I've used other cameras before. I know this one's a little harder, but I'll figure it out. And like you say, YouTube's great. Like I have problems with, oh, look, I got a dead pixel in my camera. You turn to YouTube. How do I get rid of a dead pixel? And there it is, right? So, yeah, you got to want to chase it, but there's certainly a lot of help out there online these days too.
Completely agree. Keep going for it, y'all. All right, so let's talk about the fun of Ouija Shark too, because that's why we're here. You're working on the project. You have your script. You're in production. Did anything change? And how was just again? You're shooting with your friends, your family. How fun of that? I just love talking about some BTS. So as these people tune in when it drops on digital on July 25th, they get some nuggets of behind the process.
Yeah, I stick to the script pretty much. When actors have their characters and they might change a line or they might change a word or two, if it doesn't interfere with the story and it's just the way the character talks, like I don't sweat that kind of stuff. That's just fine. But so I do stick to the script with minor changes along the way. And then I do inserts because as I go along, I'm shooting for, somewhere between 80 and 85 minutes. And I get to places where I realize I'm going to be a little short, or, the script I wrote is not going to fulfill the time that I need. And then I look for funny ways to bring people in. So there are some scenes where, there's some scenes with characters in the city watching the monsters as they're fighting that I would just bring people in, having written a B script just for them. And, they come in, we shoot all their scenes in one day, and I insert them into the movie wherever they need to go. So yeah, it's pretty tight to the script, but there's always room to shoot a few extra things here and there.
Yeah. So from pre to post, you tackle everything and have some ideas. But then it really, your film comes together in post. Talk to me about that process and and the final look, bringing this to the people on July 25th, what we're getting and the fun involved with all of that.
I'm a weird post guy. Because my post can come anywhere along in the production. So, for example, with Ouija Shark, we knew that after we shot all the scenes in hell during COVID, we knew, well, we can't see anybody for a while. I'll finish all the special effects for those scenes. So the hell scenes were 100% finished long before we even saw anybody else for the film because I had time. And then my son and I shot all the monster scenes together because, again, it was just the two of us. We couldn't go anywhere. And so we shot all of those, and I edited all those scenes together and added all the special effects. So the hardest part of the movie was kind of done at the beginning. And then by the time I was bringing people in, I kind of already had a feel for what the movie was going to look like because I had finished work. And I like that. I've been kind of doing that ever since. So after Ouija Shark 2, I've been working on a paranormal dinosaur movie. So ghost dinosaurs. And that one I left all the special effects to the end. And I got really nervous doing it because I was thinking the whole time, okay, I hope this is going to work. I think this is going to work. And it did. It turned out fine. I'm real happy with that movie. But it made me think, I really like that Ouija Shark doing stuff as you go.
Yeah.
So now I'm working on a Bigfoot movie.
Oh.
And the Bigfoot movie, we shot a bunch of monster fighting with Bigfoot. And there's lots of special effects involved. And we shot all the monster scenes first. I've already finished all the special effects, and now I'm moving on to shooting other things. I really like that process.
I love it.
It's not so much at the end, if you know what I mean.
Awesome. So you kind of gain like some new skills through the production of this project. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah. Well, the limitations we had made us learn new things.
I think the pandemic did that for a lot of us. A lot of what I've done and learned and built. I think while it has been sad and we couldn't see our friends and family, I think there's a lot of things as creatives, we've been able to pull up out of ourselves and been able to make that switch, and for the better. I gotta honestly say that. Yeah. I love it, John. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. So one of my big questions before we get up out of here and we again remind folks that it's coming on July 25th is it look like a lot of practical effects. Well, and again, low budget. Where's that? Did it look like a shark puppet? Did you make a shark puppet? Absolutely. Where is it?
I made the shark puppet.
Is it nearby?
No, he's in the meat locker. In the meat locker. I got to keep him fresh. Yeah, no, he's put away the pterogator, put away the dinosaur I built for the dinosaur movies, put away.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I build all that stuff myself, and
exciting.
Like we were saying before, I build it all, and I prefer practical effects over CGI. Of course, I use CGI because it's cheaper. To do, but I do, especially for any kind of characters that move around, I would prefer them to be a physical object.
Same. I love it. All right. So my question was, if you weren't going to show it, then does that mean, are we getting a Ouija Shark 3?
I would love to do a Ouija Shark 3. I like I say, I stopped and did 2 other movies after Ouija Shark 2. And it's still going to take me a while to finish this Bigfoot movie because we're kind of right, I don't know, about the middle of production. So it's going to be a while.
Okay.
But after that, yeah, I could. There's been a lot of interest in this movie. I'd love to do a 3rd one.
All right. Well, if you do, please come back through. Let's talk about it. And when this Bigfoot movie drops, I'm a big Bigfoot fan, so I would love to see. I'm all about. I'm forgetting the term when you like creatures and all that fantasy stuff. Cryptozoologist, something like that. Cryptozoology. I like that kind of stuff. So please come back. Let's talk about Bigfoot, Ouija Shark 3 if that happens. John, for my friends and fans that are watching this right now, I will have all of your links in the description below. But how can my people that might be driving and want to tune in and check out more from you?
I'm on Twitter, John Migliore on Twitter. If you look up, instead of trying to spell my name, if you just look up Ouija Shark, you'll find me. And I'm on Facebook. But that's about it. I also have a Vimeo page, Survival Zombie Films on Vimeo. And there's got a lot of short films and funny commercial things, and that's all free. It's just some fun place to put short films, so you can always check that out too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John. Really appreciate your time. Everybody, check out my man, John Migliore and Survival Zombie Films. Follow him on Vimeo, all the things. I will have the links in the description below. And Ouija Shark 2 when it drops on digital on July 25th. I am Kuya P. This has been Nerds Rule the World. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Appreciate you. All right, guys, we're out of here.